to blame for the violence, of course, that has erupted. Interestingly, Nilanjan Das there saying that it is a Congress MP who, of course, this is his constituency. So he's questioning where he was and what role he has played in all of this. Isa Khan Chaudhary. What do you make of that charge as well, Nikhil Jain? And what role has the Congress MP played in all of this as well, or what kind of relief has he helped to provide his constituents is also a big question. Also, as far as this violence is concerned, is it being done because elections are a year away in West Bengal? Is that why we are seeing further violence in this state and not in others across the country? What do you attribute this to, Nikhil Jain?
Well, so first of all, I don't think this violence has anything to do with the elections, because the elections are over a year away, and I don't like, as crude and crass as it may sound, but a violence 1 year before the election doesn't help anybody. If a violence or a communal incident or clash or a riot takes place about 1 or 2 or 3 months before the elections, only then it has been shown to benefit any particular party. So I don't think it has anything to do with that. It certainly has to do with the fact, and it finds its foundation in the fact that the BJP passed a very contentious law. There was a lot of protests from the opposition, from Muslim groups, from people, from a whole other bunch of social activists, but the BJP bulldozed it through the parliament nonetheless. And of course, there were bound to be protests, but this sort of violent protest is not something that's done in a democracy. The media reports that I've seen so far, I can't see any good or bad role of the Congress MP that we're talking about. However, there were these visuals of a Trinamool Congress leader talking about things which were somewhat similar to what Kapil Mishra from the BJP had done in the 2020 Delhi riots, that we are going to choke the city, or we're going to remove the city, we're not going to listen to the police, and we are going to show who has the power in the city, and all of that. And I don't think that sort of statements are ever responsible, whether coming from a TMC leader or from a BJP leader in Delhi. All that being said, what I really have my big problems with the current situation is that the BJP, the opposition in West Bengal and the ruling party in the country, instead of trying to calm down the situation, they're constantly trying to make it worse. See, I can understand if they go around and target Mamata Banerjee for the failure of law and order in her state, as they rightly must, and if they hold to account that particular leader from the TMC who was making these incendiary speeches. But why do they have to narrow it down in the binary of Hindu and Muslim? Because as Nilanjan mentioned, of the 3 people who died, 2 are Hindus, 1 is Muslim. None of them should have died. We should not be looking at religions, but let's also look at the fact. Then the BJP is also trying to create this narrative that Mamata Banerjee is the one who's promoting this violence, when news reports from yesterday afternoon suggest that over 118 people have been arrested. Then they also go around and say that Mamata Banerjee is not just only, not stopping this violence, but just supporting this violence. I don't understand this, because one of the TMC MP's house has been attacked. So the ruling party MP's house is attacked. 118 people are arrested. 3 people died, 2 of them from community A, 1 of them from community B. I really don't understand how can I say that the state's ruling party is the one promoting this violence. Of course, there is one bad actor in the state's ruling party. That I'm not going to absolve that role from. The point is that the BJP is now trying to make it into a Hindu and Muslim issue. Even Mr. Bose and other sympathizers from the BJP on your show and elsewhere, they've been trying to go around and say कि सिर्फ एक ही side violence कर रही है, ये हिंदुओं पे खतरा है, ये सब हिंदुओं पे अटैक हो रहा है. अरे बाबा, the chief minister of the state is a Hindu, the prime minister of the state of the country is a Hindu, the president is a Hindu or a tribal. It's difficult to say. BJP will probably call President Draupadi Murmu a Hindu, some will call her a tribal. That's a different point. But
a tribal can be a Hindu. I don't know what point you're making, Nikhil Jain. A tribal can be a Hindu. There is no prime minister of a state. It is prime minister of a country. You're distracting and diverting from the issue, Nikhil Jain. However, the point here, Nikhil Jain, is that is the police acting, and are the perpetrators being arrested? The violence has happened.
That was a slip of tongue. I corrected myself.